You're listening to the Women in Cybersecurity Podcast, where global voices meet to inspire, inform, and ignite change in the world of cyber. Hosted by Yuri and Alexandra Francu, and myself, Iulia, we bring you real stories, expert insights, and bold conversations from the front lines of cybersecurity. Now let's dive into today's episode. So, welcome everyone. This is the episode 10, and as you can see, we have a special setup because Yuli came from Dallas all the way to Bucharest to meet us all and create this 10th episode, which is gonna be just us discussing. And I'm very happy that you are watching us, and I hope you enjoy this episode.
Yes, and for this time around, there's no one that I can introduce except for ourselves. No intro, no background check for any of the guests, but I'm really, really happy for having this opportunity to meet with both of you in person, right? Me and Iulia, we meet all the time, but with Yuri, it's like a special episode, anniversary, maybe almost festive. So
it's definitely a special edition. I'm here once every 6 months, so we've tried to find a way to do things to celebrate. We actually just had a photo shoot, so stay tuned to some cool pictures on social media. That will be super cool. And we decided to do this 10th episode, which we are calling the special edition, Back to the Roots, back to talk only with the hosts. To basically talk about some lessons learned. We learned a lot through 10 episodes, and we want to share some thoughts about this. So I'm gonna start asking here to Alex, what is like your top 3 or top 2 things that you learned throughout those episodes that you think were very enlightening to you?
Ooh. So first of all, I feel very grateful for having the opportunity to have met all these guests throughout these episodes and to learn something from each and one of them. One lesson that I learned is that everyone brings their own unique flavor or their own experience to the table. But what I noticed that they all have in common is the going back to the basics, understanding the importance of it. So this brings us even more confidence in this world's dynamic that exists today with AI and the information being exchanged from all over all corners at once. Going back to the basics is still necessary. So for anyone who's listening, don't get overwhelmed by today's dynamic world, but rather try to catch up on that basic experience. Then second would be networking. How important it is to network, to meet with people, to connect with them in person. That energy and that chemistry cannot be exchanged, bought by something else. So networking still matters. Then 3, there's a lot of work behind every successful guest that I've seen. A lot of work. So if you think that the guests that have visited us, have accepted our invitations, have succeeded to this point without the heavy lifting behind, there's no such thing. Like luck only comes in a particular way. I think that the majority of your success is built through your own work, and then study, and then try to be better each day. So this is the top 3 learnings from me, from each guest so far.
Yeah, nice. Yuri.
The top 3 for me?
Yeah.
Very hard. I thought I'm going to skip this part. No, that Alex, I got it. So the first big lesson for me is that security indeed has no blueprint. So security applies to everything. And even now, with this big wave of AI coming onto us, because the world is changing, security is still relevant. Security still applies, the concepts still apply, and most importantly, it's good to have a different background and not come from maybe a technical university or a technical background. We had Alexa, who had psychology background. And Alexa Joseph, yes, for our lessons.
One of our guests, yes.
Yes, and we got to meet so many women that come from different backgrounds, and they bring so much value to the cybersecurity world. which I really liked. And it's a lesson learned for me that you don't have to follow a strict path to go somewhere or follow somebody else's path to reach a point in the career where you want, maybe cybersecurity architect or so on. Second one for me, it's the networking it did. So I really loved that by going to the conferences, I got to meet the women that I talked to, and they introduced me to other women, and it's just this community building all the time, which it's really enjoyable to see, and that the community is growing. And the third one, what was the third one?
I can give a third one if you want.
You can give a third one.
Yeah, I can give a third one. I think that in this world where we all feel insecure many times and we feel that we are not enough, guess what? Most of the guests, they feel the same. Even if they are already in a very high position, they have their own moments of feeling that they are not ready. But what makes them different and what makes it shine is that they do it anyway. So even if they are not feeling secure, the old imposter syndrome they all been through. We talk with Trisha from Indians, and she talk about this. And even in those situations, their resilience to do it despite their fears is what really differentiates them from others. And I think that this is a big lesson learned, because many people think, oh, I only have this fear and those insecurities because I'm new to this field. And that's not true. Of course, with time, everyone gets better on how they handle that, but the feeling never really goes away, because you may feel secure in front of people that you kind of are on the same level. But if you are in a meeting where you have CISOs, everyone in a higher level, then you feel like, oh, I'm so small here. But you have to perform and you have to deliver anyway. So I think that that's a big lesson learned, is everyone has those fears.
Yeah, and new is good. New perspectives are good. Even if you think that you are too new and your perspective might not be relevant, it may just be, because it's a fresh one.
Yeah.
I noticed also a common pattern in our guests, the power of resiliency, and perhaps doing this even not knowingly, that in this today's world, there is a gap between women and men operating under cybersecurity field. Some of them have not even acknowledged that until later on, when they look behind. I remember Renana saying this. I just realized that, oh, I'm alone actually here.
Yeah.
But I haven't realized until now why, because I kept pushing, I kept working, I kept delivering, and I admired more the resiliency part and the fact that she was so channeled into her career that she didn't have time to spend on this element. So psychologically thinking, I think that helps to push through without stumbling on the small stuff.
And I also learned that women have it a bit more, they have to prove more in this field. But I want to ask you if you observed this, Yuri.
Depends with who we talk with, because, for example, when we talked to Renana, you remember what she said. She said that I didn't really think this because I was in the military. So when I went to the corporate world, to me it was business as usual.
And
Christina said that too, right? Christina said, I don't care. So I think the attitude changed a little bit. But you can see that Christina and Renana, they are very experienced, more than 10 plus years of experience. And that counts a lot, that experience, right? Because that really gives super confidence. But for the youngest ones, they still feeling that way. If you remember, even Paula, she had a little bit of this from the beginning, she said. But now Paula is worldwide recognized, so she doesn't have this problem anymore.
Is it mainly also cultural? Could it be?
I think it could. I think it makes sense. You both can tell me this, because the whole reason I started the WCP in Romania because we didn't have enough candidates applying for cybersecurity position. And I discovered that it was very cultural type of mindset. So we are changing this. Actually, today we wrap up the biggest WCP ever with so many women, and the hardest project of all. This was a very hard project, and they all perform fantastic.
Yes, the level of technical details that they that they looked it up. They wanted to be, the top in their presentations. I admired that a lot, especially because these people, these women who have been part of this program, not all of them are technical.
And they
Also, yeah.
they all have their own work. They have
we do this
right. Yeah. So this is on top of it, preparing, getting ready technically, preparing the presentation, working in a team.
Perhaps this is another lesson learned, that this your career is not a 9 to 5, 9 to 6 actually, because nobody works till 5 these days. 9 to 6 kind of job. Your career is fast the job.
True.
Most of the time is actually after the job.
Yeah. No, and I think Rena said this because I remember bringing some statistics about CISOs that were under stress for working more than 10 hours a day, and she was like, "Just 10? I work way more than that." But I totally believe that it's about priorities, right? If you want to grow in your career, you have to put the effort. And many times that effort comes the extra mile that you put after work. Not everyone is ready at some point in time to do this because they have family. For example, we had one lady in WCP, she just came back after 6 years without working, and she's putting a lot of effort, but she was out for 6 years because of maternity leave.
Yeah. Important lesson, right? That you need to always be up to speed.
Yes.
And I was just talking about this yesterday with Iulia. When you're getting a bit out of the scenario for, let's say, 1 year or 2 years, in today's world, it's very hard to catch up on what you did 3 weeks ago. Not to mention what you did 1 year or 2 years ago. So it becomes also stressful, particularly probably more for women than it is for men, to remain up to speed with everything that goes around. Because while maintaining your full-time job, while being a mom, juggling different types of roles and responsibilities. I mean, I know that firsthand. It's quite difficult, and sometimes the stress, the mental stress of not feeling enough, takes a toll on you.
Not being everywhere enough, not being there for everyone enough, because there's so much to do. And majority of women do have this career break, which men don't have.
Yes.
It's almost mandatory for some because,
Yeah, we do have paternity leave, but it's way shorter than maternity leave, that's for sure. Then talking about stretch and doing things outside of work, I think that the second thing that I want to check with both of you, because I have experience with other podcasts that I own. Looking back now that we went through this challenge of scheduling and doing things, what can you share if someone is interested in have a podcast?
Don't do it until you
know what you're going into.
Yes. Don't think it's easy. First of all, I think both me and Iulia, when we got your invitation to join this podcast, we were so excited that yes, of course we'll do it.
Oh, I hope you still are excited.
We are.
Yeah.
But we didn't realize back then how big of a stretch it is in terms of, okay, this video is not going to upload itself. The editing is not going to do it itself. The banner, the thumbnails, the social media content, the time zone differences between us, the guests, the calendar, because we're doing this as a side job, right? We do have our full-time jobs that sometimes require more hours in the day anyway, just by itself. So,
and weekend work.
And weekend and sacrifices and compromises. But for me personally, what keeps me going is the inspiration I get from the guests, because with every guest we have, I feel like I've learned something from them that inspires me to, so if that person could do it, then perhaps there's a chance we could do it too. And this is what brings us probably fuel until the next episode, and then the next episode. It's the people.
Mm-hmm.
And the first-hand information that they give to us. Like, it's very valuable information. We are speaking with high career women, which have learned a lot. So their perspectives are actually very insightful and valuable. So
yeah, and she talked about what they learn, what we learn from them. But I think that one of the super cool things is what the audience is learning from this. Because, for example, I had some participants on the WCP Global that came to me and said, I love the podcast. I don't miss one episode because it brings kind of reality. Is not only, we are not talking about fictitious things, we are talking about everyday stuff, and they like a lot. So how many people are we able to touch when I look to the statistics of people across the globe listening, even if it is 1% in Taiwan or 1% in Portugal, which is not, it's a little bit more, but even that is great to see the many people that we are touching. And yesterday, Security Days yesterday, and someone came to us, I recognize they both from the podcast. So, it's cool because it shows that people appreciate what we're doing.
And I didn't even think about it.
Near me neither.
Not even 1 second, because when we post this video, in my mind, I think that what I feel is, okay, perhaps the people we know already will look at the podcast because they will do us a favor to look at the podcast. But then when we hear, this is my take, right? When we hear about someone completely a stranger to me that I have no clue, like the person who came to us yesterday, seeing that she recognizes us from the podcast, I bear more. I feel like I bear more accountability even for what we put, what we say, what we put out there.
Yeah.
I feel very validated for a second, but then my ultimate thought immediately is, oh, so now I think we need to be, people are listening. So we need to fine tune ourselves. We need to come up with something greater than this. So it's the mechanism of continuously improving what we have. So maybe this is a question for the listener. Drop us a comment and say if you have noticed perhaps a progress in how we deliver the content of our podcast from one episode to another. And honesty comes a long way. If it's a no, we will take it as no. But we're really curious to see if we made this type of progress and you feel that we're bringing more valuable content, and we need to understand what you would like to see as well next.
And each listener makes the effort worth it. So we are grateful for each and every one of you who is watching and following us. So
and the one thing that is also pretty cool that we may not really realize, we had some really great guests, but guess which episode is the number one in number of views? Episode 0.
Yes.
Is the one that has most,
sparked a lot of curiosity.
Yeah, it's the one that has most views and up to date. It's just still the number one episode in the rank when we look back. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool, because that was almost like POC type of episode, right? We were trying things out and people really like it. The other thing that I'm very proud about is that we never ever had to do a retake.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have time anyway.
No, but many times the guests or us say, oh, no, let's stop that, we do a retake. We never did this.
Oh, no.
It was very fluid. People even thought, this week we learned that people thought that it was scripted. And we never scripted guests' questions. It's very spontaneous.
That's even something that some of our guests have asked us. Oh, do you have any kind of questions that you'd like to ask? How would you like me to prepare? And this is a serial debunk the myth, right? We don't do any scripts. We want to keep this as real as possible and as fluid as possible. And if sometimes we're not perfect in our pitch, this means that we're real human beings, and we don't intend to compete with any sort of AI or with any sort of perfectionism, because that doesn't exist.
We are not perfect. We have feeling words.
Yeah, and I want to mention that this visibility, maybe Yuri, you are already maybe used to it, but this visibility also comes with a tad of vulnerability. Like, it's a feeling that you have your shell away, so you're
exposed,
unshielded right now, so you're very vulnerable, because it's not easy being in the
The spotlight?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
it can be a bit
Intimidating.
Yes, intimidating. And it's nice, but sometimes it makes you a little bit vulnerable.
But one thing that I can say for a fact is that it was the best idea that I ever had to invite both of you to be on this show, because we are a really good team. We really work together. We not always agree with things. We go through.
We disagree a lot.
We disagree a lot on things, but we find a common ground, right? We compromise, because if we all try to go to different directions, it's not going to get anything done. So we have to compromise many times, right? I think
that's something that personally, I never felt I did. It's a compromise that is subconsciously agreed upon. But if you ask me now if I made compromises in this partnership, I don't feel like I did.
Yeah.
Because it's like it goes on very smooth, the conversation.
It was never forced.
It was never forced, and we don't step on each other's toes in an unpolite manner, to say it like this.
There's a lot of respect.
There's a lot.
You have to HIS in the first place. So work-wise, professional-wise, personal-wise, there's a lot of respect going on in this trio.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I'm the one who is not able to do as much sometimes, and
I feel that as well. So
and I never felt forced to do something or to be given this really bad feedback. Never.
Yeah.
At all.
And I'm the new one in this relationship, because Iulia and Alex, they were friends even before they met me.
Well, we weren't friends.
Yeah, we were very good colleagues at work. We had a work relationship, and we got along very well.
Yeah, but I came after to kind of create more this glue. So I think it was very, very cool. But to me, it has been a really great experience. I'm super proud. Now I have a question for both of you, because I never asked this question. When on episode 8, y'all had the opportunity to record without me because I was traveling and I couldn't join. I was here at the Security Days in Brazil. How was that experience?
I think I felt a bit odd recording that. I felt that something was missing from the... I don't want to say from the content itself, as from an administrative perspective, because we manage that. But from a dynamic perspective, energy, and then that feeling that we're complete as a team, I am a huge team player. So if one of us is not there, I feel that even with my own team, if we're going out somewhere and someone is not able to join, I feel like that person is missing. I truly... It bothers me, right? I feel like we're not having the family complete. So it felt a bit odd. We managed, and I feel
very well, by the way.
Very well. Yulia is very confident, and she gives me always the spirit that we can do it.
Very confident.
Well,
I'm not all the time this high up, but I do learn to do it anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. So
what's your motto?
How was you feeling on that episode?
I really liked it because
you didn't miss me. Did you say?
No, I didn't. No, but you were really missing there. It was like missing a lake. I don't know. But what's important for me is to listen to the guest.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to get as much information from the guest as possible. And we do this not only for us, we do this for you. This is why we try not to speak too much over the guest. We try to let the guests speak. We only try to unthread. There's a word in Romanian, but
yes.
Untangle,
and give the opportunity to speak and give insights and to give interesting information. So I liked it.
And with Irina, it was a huge opportunity because Irina has such a breadth of experience, especially with AI in the secure by design environment. And she really impressed us with her knowledge. I got even feedback from LinkedIn that it was such a good experience and such a good...
I watched the episode and I loved the episodes, and I felt very proud that both of you carry on.
But how did you feel?
I well, when I look at the screen, and I said something's missing. I I literally said something's missing. It's me.
And then you have the mirror in the car. Oh, now it's
Yes, it's like it looks different. It was great, right? Because you did send a really cool message at the end. Thank you for that. It was an impact to see that empty space there. But the content was awesome. The content was great. You were flowing. The questions let the guests speak. So I thought the episode was amazing, and the content that you shared was really good. So that's the thing, right? It is hard to synchronize all the calendars. And so this what happened on episode 8 will probably happen many other times because Alex will not be available or Yuri will not be available. As the old saying, the show must go on, right? So the most important thing is the guest. So if the guest is scheduled on that day, we'll make it happen, even if it is one interviewer. We'll try to make it happen. I think that's our commitment. Is duty to respect the guest's time.
Let's not hurry with one interviewer.
Let's let Alexa drive one by herself.
Sleep on it before the last say thanks.
But this has been awesome. This has been amazing. And now let me talk about what's the most challenging thing. And I will start this thread. And to me, the most challenging thing is the calendar. I think that this is align our calendar in 8 hours different time zone, plus the guests. And the guest sometimes is on the west coast of US, which adds 2 more hours. So now it's 10 hours difference with you here in Romania. For example, when we interview Renana, she is in San Francisco. That's 10 hours from Romania. So we have to find a sweet spot that works for everyone on that specific day. That is challenge. So to me, that's the biggest challenge. What's your opinion?
For sure, that's the biggest challenge. I am 100% in alignment with this. Scheduling is always a challenge. But I think we missed to add the fact that we're spending a lot of time screening for who the next candidate, who the next guest should be.
Recruiting.
Yes, recruiting, as Iulia likes to say. Yes, this is also very important to add that we don't have a lineup of guests for the next year. We need to spend time and we need to understand, is that guest suitable for the way we are approaching things and with the mindset that we want to cascade further. Because if there's a guest that perhaps is not in alignment at first glance, as much as we know about that person with us, I don't feel that in this group, either of us will give up their set of values to still have a guest that we don't fully agree with, right? So I think that there's also a moral compass that we have as a team that is somehow shared tacitly and agreed upon that no one else will sacrifice. So yeah, there's a lot of time spent to recruit. And this is where networking comes along. Because if you're stuck in your own apartment, you don't go out to the office, you don't go out to conferences, you don't spend time for yourself, investing in yourself, even money-wise, right? Financial investment, because no one else is paying for this, right? So we are doing this sort of investments by ourselves, not because we have this podcast alone, but because this is our direction. This is what keeps us motivated every day. If you don't do this, then you won't be able to pursue greater career opportunities. It will be harder for you to catch up on what's going on in today's world without that human connection.
Well, this was such an amazing meeting. First of all, for both of you is normal, right? To get together in person, but for me, it's not. I go there every 6 months. So every 6 months is something very special to me, at least, because I had the opportunity to see everyone. And this time around, we did this final episode, episode 10, to celebrate the first 10 episodes. We didn't realize that the camera had a hard stop on 30 minutes. That's why we are doing this out of band wrap up for the episode. So that's why we are seeing us here on this screen rather than in the office recording. But I think it was a great conversation.
Yes, indeed. And now being back in the hybrid mode, for instance, I realize even more how great it is to be in person, to interact in person, and what a lovely flow we seem to have in person. I love that. Nothing beats that.
They miss you. So he's now back in US. We're here, and yeah, we really enjoyed our time in Romania, and we're really looking forward for the next time you come around. And for sure, we'll plan a special episode right there, because yes, we wish to continue in the next
Yeah.
period, and we have a great lineup. So
I think that this is something that y'all have something very special going on in Romania, because the atmosphere and the friendship is so close. You know, it's something that a lot of people sometimes take for granted, that I'm not going to go to the office, I'm going to work remotely. And I'm going to emphasize one more time, if you have the opportunity to go in person, see your friends, give a hug, look in their eyes, have that conversation, do it. Because as humans, we cannot believe and we cannot accept that our reality is talking in front of a computer. This is just not normal, right? We need human interaction. And more than ever, we cannot become machines just driven by AI. We need that human interaction. It's so important. It makes a huge difference. And I'm very appreciative, and I'm very grateful for those moments. That's why every 6 months I try to go back there to re-energize myself.
Yes, recharge your batteries. I think we don't realize how important it is, a human interaction, until we come back to it from time to time, and from that moment you feel a bit more accomplished and recharged. I was lucky enough to have an outing with my team recently, and we all went out at a dinner. We shared laughters. We ate some good food, but most importantly, we were interacting face to face, and it's a different thing to witness this in person than hybrid. So it's difficult to have this, but it's also an opportunity, right? You have the opportunity to even be more grateful for those moments when those happen.
Yeah.
it's difficult to put some effort to come to the office, but it's also very comfortable to sit at home, and you feel the comfort until at some point you just feel a burnout because you've been sitting in the house for too long. It's comfortable to be at home, and it's never gonna be easy to inconvenience yourself to meet the team or to find important reasons to just, okay, let's just have a random conversation in the office. Counts much more.
Comfort that much, because at home I think that we all have the tendency to work more, even over time, and log in earlier, log in overtime, or trying to compensate. And then who has lunch break at home? Seriously.
Yeah, but you don't have to travel. You don't have to stay straight all the time as you sit in the office. You can sit in sleepers. So it is a physical comfort,
No,
even if your mind
there
is
are some
completely.
advantage for sure. But for example, I just came back from this back-to-back travel from Helsinki to Brussels to London. And honestly, it was tiring, but it was extremely fulfilling to meet so many people in different places, and to talk about cybersecurity across different audience. I really love this. I really don't see myself back in those COVID years, locked down in the house. Those were terrible. If you think about how terrible it was for you to not be able to have human interaction. This is not natural at all.
Yeah, disinfecting the doorknob and being afraid to interact with everyone, even on the stairs while doing
Oh
the
my
shopping.
God,
It was,
yeah.
um, yeah, horrible
I have a
year.
different opinion.
Really, Yulia? Did you like COVID during COVID?
I like the fact that there was a certain kind of silence everywhere. Nothing was going on. You could just be like content. Nothing is going on outside. I can
Yulia,
just
if you like silence, just go to the countryside of Romania. Super silence there.
no.
That's
It's
so
the
odd
fear of
hearing
missing
this
out,
from
which was
Iulia.
missing.
It's so odd because you are very popular even at the office. So hearing this from you, it's a bit. Is this
Thank
the
you.
famous life catching up with you?
I just enjoy sitting at home when nothing goes on in the world. I'm like, this is perfect. I can just sip my
Well,
coffee.
I like the countryside of Romania. Every time that I see reels with the countryside of Romania, it's like, this is the most peaceful place ever. You know, just the nature and it's beautiful. So I'm looking forward to my
I will
adventure
invite
next
you.
May.
I
Next
will
May,
invite you to the countryside, actually, Yuri.
yeah,
But
it's
you'll have
amazing.
to remain quiet for Yulia to be able to enjoy.
It's anything but silent in the countryside. Let me just break it up to you.
Well, if you go to the forest, it's very
Yes,
silent.
yeah. Mm,
You know
Well,
that
we
in
are
Japan,
actually we are planning a big walk. We're gonna do the Via Transylvanic next May. Not the full path, but we're gonna do 3 days of walk. So I'm really looking forward to that experience. Actually,
maybe we can do some kind of a bloopers and
yeah,
film some some of our interaction regarding our security in
yeah.
Via Transylvanica, yes, and the use of AI while we are lost with no connection.
Well,
yeah,
I'm very grateful for having both of you in this project. Thank you so much again, Yulia and Alex. You are the heart of this, and we did some really cool stuff so far. And I'm really looking forward for next year. We already have 3 great guests lined up, and we are always looking who is next. Yulia is really good on recruiting new guests, and I'm pretty sure that next year will be another great year recruiting and talking to people and showcase their great work. So 2026 will be amazing.
yeah. I'm really looking forward to that. I feel like time passed by very quickly since we just started this podcast. But I think that we have evolved a bit with in time, and if the listeners feel the same, that we have upgraded a bit, please leave us a comment in the chat, or we're welcoming any sort of feedback from you on what would you like to see for 2026 that would help us be more inspired, and it will help Yulia more with the recruiting as well.
Yeah. So the truth is that we really have a lot of fun filming this, and that we maybe got a bit better, more comfortable with one another and with our guests. We're less stressed, more ready to speak. We're more curious, more and more curious about each and every guest. And also, I want to thank Yuri and Alexa. We've been a great trio, and I'm excited for what comes for the next year. Time passed very fast. I don't know how 6 months went away, but
Yeah, I
All
and thank
think
right.
you
that
very much for listening. It counts a lot. So yeah, because we do this we started to do this for us. Yeah, we don't have any interest other than the pure curiosity for our guests, and it really fills our heart to see that you have a good time listening to us, and that you are appreciating the discussions that we have.
Yeah, and I just want to wrap up saying thank you for the top 5 countries that listen to our podcast according to Spotify wrap up, which was number 1 Romania, number 2 Spain, number 3 United States, number 4 United Kingdom, number 5 Germany. Thank you all for your audience, and of course everyone else that is listen from other places. But these are the top 4 for 2025. Let's see who is going to be the top 5 for 2026.
Yes. Thank you to our listeners for the trust for each episode and for being there with us, listening every time. Thank you.
Thank you all. Take care. See you next time.
See you next time. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, yes.